So, as Prime Minister, I will chair this group. The group will contain two other government ministers, Minister Robert Lee Hunt, very experienced person. He will be the vice chair alongside a co-chair, Mr. Jerry Brooks, and it will also include to do some accountant, secretarial work for the groups, Minister Alison West in the Ministry of Finance, who would come to the government from the private sector. It will include Mr. Wendell Motley, economist and former Minister of Finance, Mr. Robert Bermudez, one of our frontline businessmen who chairs the board of one of our largest conglomerates, Ms. Karen Darbesi for banking, Mr. Winston Dukaran, economist and former Minister of Finance and central banker, Mr. Christian Mute, a businessman largely in retail and services, Mr. Colin Supinchow, expert in accounts and finance, Mr. Sean Roach, a medium-sized businessman in the manufacturing sector, Mr. Ronnie Mohammed, businessman in his private business and chairman of Caribbean Airlines in public business, in the food production business, Mr. Vincent Pereira, a businessman in the energy sector and chairman of the country's largest bank, Mr. Vishnu Dan Paul, our most experienced permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Ms. Alison Lewis, a former PS in the Ministry of Finance, very experienced in public business and public financing, Mr. Gregory Maguire, an economist from UWI, Professor Carl Theodore, economist and specialist in health economics, who heads a team of younger experts in this same field, Dr. Selwyn Hazel, an economist from Tobago, Mr. Christopher Henry, a labor representative from JTOM, Mr. Michael Anisette, representing Natuk, labor, Mr. Alan Warner, a businessman, experienced businessman from Tobago, and Mr. Rondell Fields, representing the public interest. All those persons will come together to work alongside other aspects of the government effort. But their assignment, as they break themselves out into smaller specialist groups and working together under the chairmanship and guidance of the Prime Minister, who will receive their recommendations and work with them in crafting those recommendations. And we will pick up from them in the end a roadmap for Trinidad and Tobago post-COVID.